Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition, and like we've been saying for the past number of days that we are in the county of Lamu, where we've been having the 21st edition of the Lamu Cultural Festival, which has hit day 3 today, and we're now joined by the County Governor, Issa Timami. Thank you for hosting us once again, Governor. And maybe what is your assessment of the festival first and foremost? Do you feel it has been the success you had planned for it to be?
Well, I am first very happy and pleased to host NTV in Lamu County again.
Thank you.
Secondly, let me say I am pleasantly surprised and happy by the huge turnout of visitors and guests to Lamu. I believe the numbers are well over 20,000 visitors who have come in, and judging by the enthusiasm, because most of our guests I've interacted with, the main complaint was that 3 days is too short. We need to have more days of this festival. I am very happy that a number of distinguished visitors, including some ambassadors. We have a number of senior officials of the government, heads of parastatals. We are very happy to host the KPA chairman, the KMA chairman, the LAPSET chairman, and many others. So as far as we are concerned, this year's cultural festival is a resounding success, better than last year, because we have introduced other activities such as beach football, which is a huge following. And the reason was because I think 3 of the players and actually the captain of the Kenya beach football team come from Lamu County.
All right, and he's one of the people that we have spoken to and are looking to do a special report on, as we acknowledge, the talent and skill he has. And one of the things that we are seeing happening in the country is about flooding, for instance. And has the current situation of flooding and heavy rains affected either the attendance or the access to the festival?
Well, not really. Though now we have a challenge. The main road that leads from Lamu to Malindi onwards to Mombasa has been cut off. We just got the news around lunchtime today. There has been too much flood waters on the road, and actually the Kenya National Highway Authority has sent an alert that that road is impassable. I have been in communication with the neighboring county of Tana River. This is because the Tana River has overflooded, and as we speak, there's actually some enterprising Kenyan has put a boat in a small section that has been cut off. So with this boat, people are still able to get to their destination. It's a boat on tarmac. But we're just concerned that the number of visitors who have come now making their way back, it will be a bit of a challenge, but we want to ensure with the security agencies that even this method of traveling is safe, so that our people get back to their respective homes safely.
Okay, and just on the same thread, which has to do with climate change and the likes, some of the fishermen who are in the competition that was happening today were talking about the difference in just the climate change situation and how it's affecting their trade. Maybe you could just expound on this for us a bit.
What I would say is that climate change has an adverse effect, and you should remember that Lamu is a county that borders the Indian Ocean. Right now, all the excess waters which traverse most parts of this country will eventually find their way to the ocean and will pass through Lamu County. And already about nearly a half of Lamu County is flooded. And I understand that two of the dams which were overfull, their gates have been opened, and hence this challenge of our road being cut off. I believe we are yet to see the worst of this, but as a county we are doing all that we can. We have urged our people who live in the lowlands to move to higher grounds. As a county we are making sure because waterborne disease will erupt. So we have to make sure that we have enough medicines to counter those. Mosquitoes invariably will cause havoc as far as malaria is concerned. Therefore, we are also acquiring nets and taking all the precautions that we can. We have a limited budget, but actually looking at a situation that I have to cut down on development in order to address to these emerging issues and challenges.
How much is the budgeted allocation for these two, just to get a sense of?
At present, we have budgeted about 30 million, and basically to buy aqua tubs because with the plenty of water around, yet there is no drinking water. And for me, that is the most essential thing. We have to make sure our people have water, clean drinking water. Number two is the issue of drugs for the emerging diseases that invariably will come with this flooding. And number three, mosquito nets. And lastly, some food supplements. I have already placed an order for 10,000 packets of 12.5 kilograms each of nutrient porridge, which is ready to drink, just to distribute to our people.
Okay, so it sounds like we're talking about a crisis in waiting after a current crisis of flooding in terms of disease, potentially that way. And you've spoken about drugs being available and the likes. Do you feel you have enough? Because, you know, historically there have been challenges of supplying drugs from KEMSA, between counties and KEMSA.
To be honest, we don't have enough. Already we are partnering with the Kenya Red Cross. I must also appreciate the Al Khair Foundation, which has also come in to help us with some of these challenges. But it's just a question of resources. I am happy that the President pledged to avail to FCDC counties. These are Frontier Counties Development Council, and Lamu is a member of FCDC. So I'm hoping that we shall get some support from the national government. And unlike other places, Lamu, when it is flooded, it takes a while for the flood waters to recede. You may have seen the case of Mombasa. Within 2-3 weeks, all that water will have drained away. But in Lamu, because of the types of soil and the geographical layout of Lamu County, when it floods, sometimes the flood waters remain stagnant waters for up to 6 months. So it's going to be a real challenge.
Okay, and we hope for the best to that, especially where lives and health and livelihoods are involved. And one more thing you mentioned in the course of the day was in regards to the cost of living, the cost of fuel having gone up, and it was even affected because at times we may not think of how that would affect some of the activities, but it's affected even the fishing activities because of the cost of fuel. How badly are the people of Lamu being affected by this cost of living in a way that is unique to Lamu?
Fuel is a very important component. It is what drives not only this country but also our county. Again, the geography of Lamu County. Lamu County has an expansive mainland. We also are an archipelago with 65 islands, though only 8 are inhabited, and the mode of transport is by water. Boats consume more fuel than cars because they move against the water and against the wind. So the cost of development is much higher because all materials that are required have to be ferried by boats, and which use fuel. So that is a concern. Now, on livelihoods, our fishermen, as a county, we have a program of providing outboard engines to our fishermen, just to enable them to go out and come back quickly with their catch. Because if they are to use the dhows, the sailboats, they might have a good catch, but if there's no wind, by the time they get to shore, the fish will have been wasted. So even today, I remember last year, with a similar number of boats participating, we managed to land over 5 tons of fish. Today we landed about 3 tons, and the reason is because our fishermen were not able to go further out in the Indian Ocean where there's more fish than near the shore. And the reason for not being able to do that is the cost of fuel. We provided about 10 liters of fuel to all the participating boats, but that was not enough. So the cost of living, especially fuel, has adversely affected our county.
Okay, and just in closing, talking about the cultural festival, what are some of the things that you feel are the marks of the success, that would justify saying that next year we'll still have another one and the likes?
First is the attendance. When you hold a festival and people come to grace the festival, that's the first indicator that the festival is a success. And I am very happy with the mix of the people. We have tourists. It's a long time since we have seen such a number, and by this I mean the European American tourists. And I'm also very happy that Kenyans are now aware of the Lamu festival, and we have a lot of people who have traveled from up country, and of course from Mombasa and Malindi, and also from the rest of Lamu County. So that to me is a good indication, and it's a good mix, that you just don't have one particular strata of society coming. It's everyone. Secondly, it's the economic boom that we we fill. All my hotels are full. When the dhow competitions are going on, Lamu Bay is full of boats. These are mainly visitors following the competing dhows. So my coxswains and the owners of the boats are reaping. All the restaurants, by 8 p.m. there is no food. It's sold out. This is why as a county we funded about 30 women groups so that they can cook and supplement. You don't want a hungry visitor. That's the only thing he will remember. So we want to make sure that there is enough food. A good indicator, my fishermen are having a very good time. Whatever they catch is sold locally. My mama mbogas, the market is a beehive of activity. Everyone is racing to buy the available vegetables and so on. And for me, it is not just now. This festival puts Lamu on the tourist circuit. People become aware of Lamu. A number of people, it's their first time, and I interact with our visitors, and most of them promise that this will not be their last time to come to Lamu. Okay. And in fact, following last year's cultural festival, the benefits cascaded until this cultural festival. So as far as we are concerned, this festival is a huge success.
Okay, and Governor, just within 30 seconds, I think this is more as a public service announcement for the benefit of those who are looking to leave because the festival being over and they want to now move back home. For those who don't live here, especially those using road transport, what would you guide them regarding in light of the flooded and cut off roads?
I would say those who are not in a hurry, that they don't have deadlines to report to work, and please stay for a few more days, because this is water that is just passing, and we expect maybe in 1-2 days it will dry up. For those who have to travel, I would kindly request them to ensure that they comply with whatever directions that our security agencies who are at present at these in these areas which are flooded, please adhere to their instructions. It is for their own safety, and it is my prayers that everybody will get back home safely.
Thank you very much, Governor Issa Timami, for speaking to us and for hosting us once again. And we hope for the best, even for the county, in regards to the floods and what you say, what seems to be a potential, danger that is in terms of disease that comes after this.
And I want to say that MTV is a good partner of the Lamu Cultural Festival, and we should do it again in 2024.
Let's do this again,
Right.
Even bigger. Thank you very much, Governor.
Okay, thank you.
We take a short break on NTV Weekend Edition. We'll be back with more after this. Stay with us.